हौसला बुलंद कर रास्ते पर चल दे, हौसला बुलंद कर रास्ते पर चल दे, तुझे तेरा मुकाम मिल जाएगा, तुझे तेरा मुकाम मिल जाएगा। तू अकेला पहल करके चलकर तो देख, तू अकेला पहल करके चलकर तो देख, काफिला तेरे पीछे तुझे देखकर बन जाएगा। बस આવી જ કંઈક વાત છે કાંતિભાઈ પટેલ અને રંજનાબેનની. જી હા, રંજનાબેન પટેલ તેમના પત્ની અને અહીંયા ન્યૂઝીલેન્ડના ગૌરવવંતા ગુજરાતી. જો તમે ન્યૂઝીલેન્ડમાં આવો અને આ ગુજરાતી કપલને ન મળો તો કદાચ તમને મનમાં એમ રહી જાય કે જિંદગીમાં એક એવા મોટિવેશનલ વ્યક્તિને ન મળી શક્યા કે જેના પાસેથી ઘણું બધું શીખવા મળી શકે. અને ઘણા બધા સંઘર્ષ બાદ તેઓ આજે ગૌરવવંતા ગુજરાતી જ નહીં પણ ન્યૂઝીલેન્ડમાં પણ એક આગવી ઓળખ ઊભી કરીને રહ્યા છે. રંજનાબેન આજે મારી સાથે છે. કેમ છો રંજનાબેન? મજામાં?
મજામાં.
સૌથી પહેલાં તો આ આખી જ્યારે વાત હું કરી રહી છું મને ખુદને તમારું આટલું અહીંયા નામ છે પણ એ શરૂઆત એક શૂન્યમાંથી તમે સર્જન કર્યું એમ કહીએ તો ચાલે. અહીંયા આવીને એ શૂન્યમાંથી સર્જન કરવા ટાઈમે શું શું તકલીફો પડી, કેવી રીતે શરૂઆત થઈ હતી રંજનાબેનની?
I was born here in the 50s. બાપુજીને કાકા દુકાનમાં ફ્રૂટ શોપ હતી અમારી, તો અમે સાથે સાત ભાઈ બહેના તે દુકાનમાં જ રહેલા અને મોટા થયેલા. And so we grew up in a hard environment. School pachi ame friends સાથે રમવા નહીં જતા. We used to have to work in the shop or cook, and we were brought up with that work ethic. Everything is possible to do and nothing is too hard to do. And I think that's the work ethic that I think most Gujaratis and most immigrants all have, that hunger and need to survive. And it's very important in order to move forward. So very early on, having 5 girls and 2 boys in the house, education wasn't an option. Couldn't afford to go to university. And so started working very, very early. By 18, had an arranged marriage, went to India, got married to Kanti. And then when we came back, until then, I never felt any racism in New Zealand, because my dada came here, dad was born here. But when you go into a professional environment, that's when you feel that you are being biased against. And so when Kanti had to sit here for 10 months, because no one would say, I recognise it, problem still now, I don't recognise your degree, I don't recognise your qualification. So the hospital would say, you get registration, and the registration board would say, you get a job. But no one would act first. And then after 8 months, they said, sit this exam, American exam, and we'll give you registration. So Kanti, being such a determined person, passed the exam straight away and got a job within the few months that they told him. And then after going into the hospital system, when he wanted to get full registration, he wanted to be a specialist. But a very wise mentor he had at the hospital said, New Zealand's not ready for a young doctor with an accent that's coloured, that no one will refer to you if you become a specialist. And so you have to go and work in an environment that looks like you and sounds like you. And so that was general practice. It had to be a practical because his family wasn't settled and they needed help as well. And so we went into general practice. So I became the cleaner, the accountant, the wage person, the receptionist, everything at the clinic. And there's no such thing as I can't do. You learn everything. You may not do it properly, you try again, and you learn how to do it. And so, I didn't know how to type. So one finger typist doing all his letters. So he looked after the clinical side and just said, you do it. He didn't ask, can you do it? It was like, you do it, and you find a way. I think we all have that resilience that if it's important enough, we will learn how to do it.
એક્ઝેક્ટલી એક વખત જો તરતું મૂકી દઈએ તો આપોઆપ તે તરતા શીખી જાય છે. તેવું જ કંઈક રંજનાબેન સાથે થયું અને એક સમયની અંદર ઘણા બધા ચેલેન્જિંગ રોલ તેમણે નિભાવવાના આવ્યા. ખાસ તો રંજનાબેન ગુજરાતી મૂળના તમે છો અને ગુજરાતી રહીને પોતાના મૂલ્યો, પોતાના સંસ્કારો જે આપણા ગુજરાતીઓને મળ્યા છે તેને જાળવી રાખવા એ બધું આ બધા સાથે કેટલું ટફ હતું?
When we were growing up here, there were mostly Gujaratis from all different parts, Garari Matwar, all sorts. And there was only about 100 odd families. And so we knew everybody. They were like our community. And Auckland Indian Association was all Gujarati at that time. And so my mother was very active in the Auckland Indian Association, in the Mela Samaj, started the first Mela Samaj. My kaka was very involved with the Auckland Indian Association starting, even my dada was. And then my kaka was in the Sports Association. And so the Gujarati community was very, very tight. You know, to this date, I have 10 friends that we went to school with. That we still meet on a regular basis. And they're all not just one type of Indian, they're all different ones that were here, all Gujaratis, but it's like a sisterhood that we've just kept going for now, 50 odd years.
તો હવે આખું પહેલાના રંજનાબેન અને અત્યારના રંજનાબેનમાં કેટલો ફરક લાગે છે તમને? અને પહેલા ત્યારે શું શું ચેલેન્જો હતી અને હવે કેવી રીતે બધી ચેલેન્જીસને તમે જે તમારી પાર પાડી, અત્યારના રંજનાબેનમાં કેટલો ફરક આવ્યો છે?
If you compare, it's probably not much different, but it's a different way. In the fruit shop, you learned how to calculate. You weighed the vegetables, you weighed the fruit, and you calculated, you added, you served the customers. We've come into an environment of professional services, but you're still serving someone, the patient and the customer. And what's important? The niceties. Being mindful, being respectful. So business-wise, I think if you take a good business ethic and you put the customer or the patient first, you will survive no matter what you do. So just appreciating, acknowledging and having empathy to anyone that comes through the door. I've been very fortunate that I've been able to grow. Most Gujarati ladies would be in the background and they wouldn't get the recognition. Whereas Kanti looked after the clinical side, he had the vision of what he wanted to do, and I was the operational person. And so that came about very quickly, that you can operation. Doing that, it became I became recognised for who I am. Whereas I can see a lot of Gujarati couples, the women in particular, do a lot, but the recognition all goes to the husband. Now, that's not wrong, that's not right, but I've just been privileged to be able to do that. 6-7 years ago, we started entering awards. And Rakesh said, I don't want to be the front page, that's my son, front face for the awards. And Kanti says, that's not my thing, you look after it. And by doing that, I have been taking the credit for the 1,000 people that work for us. And if anyone believes one person's did it, it's not. You need teamwork and you need support of people in order to grow a business. If you can't trust anybody or if you cannot work with anyone, you will never grow your business. And so I think that's the important part of having trust and growing the business. So And then I became the face, which has opened a lot more doors in the past 5 years than all our career of 41 years. I sit on so many national boards. I sit on so many senior leadership groups that now I have the ethnic voice at so many different levels to make a difference. And so the Ranjna back then was just a doer. Now I am an influencer, which is a big difference. And it's bringing credibility to Indians, that they are able to do things. They are able to have that diverse view and attitude towards business. We think outside the square because we look after what needs doing. And that's a vital part, you know. We grow up with a need to survive, and in that need we create solutions that are workable, not necessarily what is in the square.
હંમેશા કંઈક અલગ કરનારા રંજનાબેન પાસેથી પણ ઘણી બધી પ્રેરણારૂપ વાતો આપણને જાણવા મળી શકે છે. પણ જ્યારે એક મહિલા કામ કરતી હોય છે, માત્ર આપણા દેશની અંદર નહીં પણ હવે અહીંયા પહેલાંથી જ બહારના દેશોમાં આપણે જોતા આવ્યા છીએ કે મહિલાને હંમેશા પુરુષની સમોવડી માનવામાં શરૂઆતથી આવે છે. ભારતની અંદર હવે આપણે મહિલાઓ પુરુષ સમોવડી બની છે, પણ બહારના દેશોની અંદર પહેલાંથી આ પ્રથા છે. રંજનાબેન, તમને ક્યારે એવું લાગ્યું કે હું લેડીઝ છું એટલે આ વર્ક કરવું ન જોઈએ અથવા તો આ પ્રકારનું કામ ન કરવું જોઈએ? કોઈ સીમા, કોઈ બંધન? અને તમે અત્યાર સુધી જોયું ખરું કે આપણી ગુજરાતી મહિલાઓને અહીંયા કોઈ સીમા કે કોઈ બંધન નડી રહ્યું હોય?
I think it's all in our head. We create our own barriers. There aren't many barriers here as far as a woman or a man goes, but we create our own barriers, and those are our inner inhibitions that as women we have to fight. I'll give you the example of being creative and finding solutions, and why did they come to a woman. I sit on the county's Manukau South Asian Advisory Board for Police, and in the year 2012 and 13, 4 out of 14 deaths from family violence, that's men killing women, were Indian. And that's 29% when our population was at 5%. And so police said, there's a problem in your community. Now, when you've never heard of these issues or you've never grown up, our household, nobody even raised their voice. You don't understand. So we don't think, oh, I can't do, I don't know. I went to MIT and did a family harm course to try to understand the problem. And then after talking to people that work in the area, not my expertise, so I talked to people that work in that area, and they said our biggest problem is the men do not get counselling help, and they don't know that what's right in India is not right here, that you're not allowed to do this and you're not allowed to do that. And so it was simple education, but the thing was community became a barrier. They became ashamed, so they would sit in the car, get more angry. And so what was recognised was counselling was needed for the men. Now, I sat on the South Asian, which includes Indians and the South Asian continent. And so in 2014, I started that project where men got counselling from, so the woman was kept safe. And when they believe that 1 out of 3 women is abused in New Zealand, which is very high statistics, it became obvious that it's not just an Indian problem. And so to keep the woman safe, and they believe 1 out of 3, but only 12% actually make the call. The others all just tolerate it. And so I wanted to open the women to be able to make the call without the man getting a criminal record and getting help. Because a woman, a new migrant, worries about the fact that what if immigration, if he's arrested, he'll get a record, he won't get a job. You know, lots of issues come in. And so trying to remove all those barriers for Indian men has shown that it's worked for everybody. We've seen over 750 families now because the men get counselled, the women get help, and then the children get the tools to deal with it.
ખાસ તો રંજનાબેન આપણે ઘણી બધી વાતો કરી મહિલાઓ માટે પણ રંજનાબેન ઘણું જ કામ કરે છે ન્યૂઝીલેન્ડની અંદર પણ હવે થોડી પર્સનલ વાતો પણ કરી લઈએ રંજનાબેનને ગુજરાતીમાં ખાસ તો શું ગમે છે અને શું પહેરવું ગમે છે શું જમવું ગમે છે ગુજરાતીની કઈ સ્પેશિયલ ડિશ છે આપણે થોડા હલકા ફુલકા મૂડમાં આવી જઈએ હવે સ્પેશિયલ કઈ ડિશ છે તો કઈ વધારે સ્પેશિયલ ડિશ તમને પસંદ છે
બધું હવે મંદિરમાં because બધા અમદાવાદના આવ્યા I was brought up with my parents came here in the 40s એટલે અમને શું આવડતું લગ્ન કર્યા ત્યારે તો બસ પાંતરા ને ઈડળા ને ભજીયા બીજું કાંઈ પછી આ લોકો બધા આવ્યા ને દાબેલી ને પાઉંભાજી ને સમોસાસ ને એવું બધું શીખ્યા તો હવે તો મંદિરમાં બધું એટલું ફાઇન રીતે રસોઈ થાય તે આપણને કંઈ બી નહીં ભાવતું હોય તો બી ભાવતું થઈ જાય the mandir environment is so you saw on Sunday it's very very inviting એટલે હવે અમે બહાર બી જમવા ગઈએ તો we compare it to the mandir food and nothing beats the mandir food so you don't have to like special items my pride and joy I've got 7 grandchildren 6 girls so you can imagine the fun I have with the 6 girls cooking playing games you know doing their hair it's my pride and joy
ઓકે તો તમારા જે ચિલ્ડ્રન્સ છે અને તમારા જે નાના બચ્ચાઓ છે તેમને તમે શું પ્રેરણા આપો છો અને આપણા ગુજરાતી સંસ્કારો તેમનામાં રહે તેના માટે તમે શું શું કરો છો
I think Apnu food is the most important thing, that they learn to enjoy the food. They know all the festivals. You know, my oldest son's married to a European, but she knows Raksha Bandhan, we do this. Diwali, we do this. And so just acknowledging. And with the mandir, you know, sometimes they get a bit overwhelmed. Yeah, so every weekમાં કોઈનો જન્મ celebration you know they get a bit thing with it so they know these birthdays that happen like ગોકુળાષ્ટમીના દિવસે 12 વાગે રાતના આપણે આમ કરવું રામનવમીમાં because it's Swaminarayan's birthday you know રામનવમી 12 વાગે લંચો કરવું ને સાંજે 10 વાગે બી બરાબર ફટાકડા ફોડે તા મંદિરે so you know they know these things growing up with an environment where they're multicultural, they've got to want to be proud themselves. You can't make people be proud of something that you believe in. You can tell them and then they have to learn and if they understand then they'll be proud of it.
ખાસ તો તમને ગુજરાત જઈને ક્યાં જવું વધારે પસંદ પડે છે જ્યારે ગુજરાત જાઓ ત્યારે અને ગુજરાતની એવી કઈ વાતો તમને હંમેશા યાદ આવે છે કે મજા પડી જાય છે જ્યારે વાતો યાદ કરો ત્યારે
what I'm not allowed to do લારી પરનું જમવાનું I have to hide from that. No, it's always nice. Gambi, I enjoy going to the Gam. It's very relaxing. The atmosphere is very different than the hustle and bustle of Ahmedabad and Baroda, even Navsari. You know, you will walk down the street of Navsari and you are bound to find someone from New Zealand. That someone in the street will come up and say hello to you. So, you know, those are the buzzes of it. You know, in Navsari, walking down the main street, that's the only street, maybe dirty, maybe that, but it's all part of it. And then you go into the flash stores in Ahmedabad, where it's completely different. You know, so it's just so varied in India that you never get bored of anything. And I haven't done much travelling, so my aspiration is to travel and see a lot of the sites. So I've done from Bangalore down to Kanyakumari and I've done the triangle up north, but I haven't done the east coast and the west coast. And, you know, I've always wanted to go to Chapaya, so I will get around to doing that.
ઓકે અને ખાસ તો હવે પછી એ પણ પૂછી જ લઈએ કે તમને ગુજરાતી સાડી પહેરવી વધારે ગમે છે કે પછી ડ્રેસ પહેરવા વધારે ગમે છે
If you looked at my wardrobe, there's more saris in there. And I think the elegance, but it's a confidence thing. I think only about 6 years ago, I now turn up to all white affairs in a sari because I now have the confidence to wear it. We are all proud of wearing our saris and our clothes, but it's a confidence of going into a different environment that makes the difference. And I know so many young girls have come up to me when we've been at formal functions and they're in their ball gowns saying, I was thinking of wearing a sari, but I didn't know how it would feel. And I would say, you have to have the confidence yourself to wear it and be proud of it. No one's, I think we think being different is wrong, but there is nothing wrong with being different. There is nothing wrong in showing who you are, because you may be intellect at your work, you may show leadership at your work, but people have to realize that once you go home, your culture and your hereditary and your upbringing is going to kick in far more. And if they can understand that, then they can understand what you are at work.
ખૂબ જ સારી વાત કરી રંજનાબેને. ચાહે તમે ગમે ત્યાંથી આવતા હો પણ પોતાના મૂલ્યો, આપણા સંસ્કારોને ન ભૂલવા જોઈએ અને સાડી પહેરવી એ એમના માટે એક ગર્વની બાબત છે, કોન્ફિડન્સની બાબત છે. રંજનાબેન, લાસ્ટમાં ન્યૂઝીલેન્ડ આવતા ગુજરાતીઓ અને બીજા કોઈ ઇન્ડિયન્સ અને જે આજની યુવા પેઢી ન્યૂઝીલેન્ડ આવે છે તેમને શું મેસેજ તમે આપવા માંગશો તમારા તરફથી? કારણ કે સ્ટ્રગલ હંમેશા અહીંયા આવીને રહેતું હોય છે, પણ તેને કેવી રીતે આપણે પાર કરી શકીએ?
I think struggle is with everyone. Kanti, when he arrived here, he didn't have any money at all. I had just started working. And then you can imagine the struggle and the frustration of an educated person from India coming to New Zealand and not being able to support their wife. So that torment he must have had for 10 months is very, very difficult. And that's the torment everybody does have, getting a job and then being overqualified for the job you do get. But you can't give up. You've come here for a reason. You've come here for a better life, maybe perceived better life, but you have come here for a reason that you have to stick to that. Nothing's ever easy. You know, there's a saying on my wall that says, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, and I'm not everybody. So you have to find the struggles, you have to work around them. Yes, you know, we had no money. We lived with my parents for 2 years before Kanti got a job and did anything. So you have to make sacrifices, and you do have to persevere. Be honest and have integrity. Don't cut corners, and work with a true heart, and always give back anything that you do that may be good and gives you rewards. Always learn to be able to give and pass it on to somebody else. I think selfishness doesn't get you anywhere. It may give you satisfaction, I'm better than someone else, but if you share, if your pearls of wisdom to someone makes a big difference, you should share them. Don't think, I can see that in the Mandir, all the people we've helped with the housing around the Mandir have all got their own businesses, have got themselves house. It makes me so proud every time someone says, Kaki, we've bought a house. You know, that they've now made it. And all they needed was that support for the first few years. So, you know, it's important that you don't forget that the support, you will need it. And some people will give it, some people won't. But you need to be able to survive the first few years in order to do it. And if you do survive, please pass it on, because there's a lot more that are still coming through that need that support.
થેન્ક યુ સો મચ રંજનાબેન. તમારી સાથે વાત કરીને એક અનોખી ઉર્જા મને પણ આજે આવી, અને મને લાગે છે કે ગુજરાતથી આવતા તમામ જે ન્યૂઝીલેન્ડ જે ગુજરાતીઓ આવી રહ્યા છે